This is Paul. Yeah. I'm just reading this law dictionary. Yeah. And they have what's called damages for loss of use. Awards made to compensate for the loss of use of something that ordinarily earns money. Yeah. Now, I know I've talked about damages, and there's a good probability these desalinators I've been talking about, they could have been making me a lot of money over the last couple of years, and all those documented innovations, the ordinary use of them, if I was able to actually earn any money because the state of Washington decided they were going to enforce the laws. But when it is the full faith and credit of the United States Constitution that's been violated, every state in the United States is liable for the knowledge they have of not enforcing the fucking laws. Every state. Now, I have mentioned that I thought that I had trillions of dollars worth of business, and every day that I'm sitting here, somebody's like, well, I wonder what this next lawsuit's going to be. Well, every day that you had knowledge of the civil rights violation of violating my 5th, 2nd, and 14th Amendments, pooch, and then you had the knowledge of violating a number of other laws, vexatious court proceedings, quite possibly chicanery, pooch, having forgeries, fraud, kidnapping, bribery, conflict of interest, dishonest use of public services, the fiduciary responsibilities of those that are public officials that have a duty to report kidnapping. Now, I'm going to have to remind every state of the United States that as long as I have no rights, you're liable for every fucking thing that I'm not making. Now, I was looking here in the dictionary. Yes. And they have what's called metallurgy. The technology and science which studies methods or extracting metals from ores and other preparing them for use. Now, I looked at the mines that I could or could not actually have an inheritance in. And then I looked at the mines throughout the world that are producing iron ore, brass, aluminum. Did you know they make satellite dishes out of aluminum? No. Seems to take a lot of electricity to produce aluminum, doesn't it, Pooch? I think of Alcoa. Stock symbol AA. Now, let's say I had a little HHO gas innovation, and I know the temperature that different types of ores and dirt melt at. Yes. Is there a possibility that I could, through the mining industry, develop and manufacture and sell a new metallurgy that would extract metals from their ores and the preparing of their use? Now, I had just briefly mentioned that I use a lot of used tires and making a pretty good sized diameter hose. But my plan was to buy up a large amount of desert right outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and build the world's largest smelter. This is a smelter so big that you could drive 2 buses lengthwise into it because of the amount of heat that HHO gas produces. Now, when you're wanting to recycle every fucking junk car, I thought that I was going to be selling 10 different tensile strengths of metals to those that are in manufacturing, from appliance manufacturing to airplane manufacturing to tank manufacturing. Now, it seems that we have a lot of rusty metal around. I notice there's a lot of old mills, and steel used to be a big deal, but I had wanted to be involved in the composite metal business. And considering all the junk cars and all the junkyards that I had wanted to buy the junkyard so I could get the junk cars, I'm kind of thinking that I'm missing out on a fucking load of money. Now, I know these innovations work. And I'm kind of thinking I wanted to know the ownership of every mine in the world. We went through them once before, and I think that if you could give me the employees for the last 40 years of every mine everywhere in the world, I'm kind of thinking that I could develop a new innovative way to extract metal metals from their ores. Now, give me the aluminum producers, okay? Okay. Let me look at the amount of electricity they use because I know there's a big aluminum plant over there on the gorge. And it seemed like there's a lot of electricity. You really use a lot of electricity when you're doing metal manufacturing, especially aluminum manufacturing. In fact, I thought maybe we'd just get big blocks of aluminum, drive around and develop a type of aluminum block that fits on the flatbed truck. Yes, that absorbs all the extra broadband in different areas. Pooch, pooch, pooch. Now, I know, okay? I know how to suck the broadband out of every city. I know how to suck the broadband out of the city. Now, my concern is, okay, that each state of the United States actually thinks they're not going to be sued for anywhere from $4 billion to $100 billion for not enforcing the fucking law. Now give me the ownership of every mine in the world, the exact amount of electricity usage of every mine, and all the employees for the last 40 years of every mine. I'm wanting to put that smelter in the world's largest smelter. I can smelter up a piece of high tensile strength. You know how many rivets there are in an airplane? Yes. I can make a whole airplane, just two pieces, one on this side, one on that side.